So, I corrupted my save file. I accidentally solved one of the puzzles and thought, ooh, I gotta get this on camera. I better exit out of the game before it saves. That was a mistake, but also very fitting for the game. Hey, think about it like this. All those cubes that I collected last time, I was planning to just do as a big post-commentary thing. Now I can do them all live. Look, it only actually took about 15 minutes or so to get roughly back up to the same point that I was at before. It's really just, there's going to be some consistency issues with some of the areas that I've been in previously. So let's start this one out. Yeah, how about the bell tower? That was actually how I was going to end the episode last time, but then I thought, wait, what better ending am I going to have than the sunglasses falling down on Gomez's face? So let's go over to that, solve that thing right now. It also took me a moment to kind of figure out exactly what you needed to do to solve that thing, because although it does just have numbers on it, that's not as something as simple as just ring the bell, 1, 2, 3, 4. They made it slightly more complicated. Also, I am noticing that as you kind of get further into the game, these black holes start to become a lot more numerous. Like, I don't know if it's just collecting X amount of cubes or something, but it pretty much turns every one of the areas into a hard mode version of what it normally is. Because a lot of the platforming up to this point, fairly simple. It's just the black holes add in that extra, let's say, third dimension. Yeah, I never actually looked at this last time. Alright, so this one is, what, 3? Alright, this one is 10. I don't really see that in a whole lot of other places aside from this. 3, 1. Alright, then we got 1. And finally, what is that, 6? 2 and 4? And there it is. And that completely gets rid of the bell, too, so no messing around with that anymore. I guess it's not going to be relevant for any more puzzles, which is sort of important to know. Though still, there is one thing left to do in here. I guess there's an area that I never went to. Lowering the water does, on almost every one of these islands, reveal some sort of door. And I don't think I've been to any of them, because that was all planned for the whole post-commentary thing that I was talking about. What do we got? Ah. Yes, the flashing lights warning of the episode. So this is a curious area. Ultimately, the huge amount of, let's just say, visual noise going on right now is just intended to make it harder to see what's happening. It doesn't actually change the platforming that much. I mean, it might as well just be like a gigantic, I don't know, let's say, there you are. It might as well just be a gigantic, like, a black, like, completely dark aside from the middle of the screen. Still, though, it's an interesting way to do this. If kind of difficult to look at for an extended period of time. I also really like the track in this area, too. Epitomizes that whole weird, glitchy type of aesthetic that shows up a lot in this game. Was it over here that I need to go? Yeah, it's also kind of hard to keep track of where exactly the next area I need to get to is as well. In fact, some of these like platforms I haven't even seen appear anywhere else in the game just yet. Wait, is that just the same? I think it's the same area that I came from. Whew, boy. I mean, looking, I don't think does much of anything unless you want to take a glance at the sprite. Yeah, there it is. Unless you want to take a glance at like the full sprite sheet of the game. All right. Slowly but surely getting my way through this. Hey, one of those one of those crumbling platforms. That's kind of fun because that is not something that has appeared in a whole lot of other areas. up to this point. This platform. There we are. Yeesh. Oh, and there's one of the Thwomp characters too. I think that might be a bush or something. I don't recognize that platform at all. I like this dark red one. All right, and hey, it's a unique cube on top of that. I mean, it sort of looks like an anti-cube, but more pixelated. Yeah, get me out of here. I think we've spent enough time in this area. A little bit tricky, but yeah, it's just more one of those things where I'm worried about the file size of this video ultimately. All right, so that covers at least a couple of the things. What do I have next to do in terms of... Oh, yeah, you know what? The waterfall area. That's a good one, actually. Because that one does have a couple things to do, if I remember correctly. There's, of course, just the one tetramino obelisk, whatever you call it, that I got to open up the ability to lower the ocean level, which is still a very silly concept if you were to ask me. But yeah, at night, I saw this very briefly as I was in here before. That door on there's a door on the back of the island. Has some tetraminos on there that only shows up right as it's, I don't know, getting to be twilight or so. Or maybe morning? Well, I suppose we're going to find out either way. Come on. There are only a couple things that are really like day-night dependent in the game, but... there we go. There we go. Okay, let's just get right up next to the door. I guess I can't really do it on that small of a platform. Left shift, left, right shift, down, up, left shift. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't really accept inputs for secret stuff if you're in the water. All right. Ah, yes. Well, I guess this explains where the platforms that I saw in the previous area were at. Also, another unique music track, too. It's Mega Man appearing platforms, which is, as always, sort of a frustrating thing to deal with, but honestly, not the worst. Oh, this. Yeah, I saw this somewhere else. I think I'm going to have to come back to it because I'm not quite sure what the solution is to it just yet, but there is some place that should be a little bit easier to get to when it comes to trying to figure out the exact mechanics to getting that puzzle. In the meantime, this is more or less the exact thing that I was talking about in the previous area, except also with a very neat pixelated style. In fact, I'm pretty sure that Gomez does not usually look this low res, if I'm not mistaken. As like a 3D hat, after all. They made a big point of showing that us at the beginning of the game. Did not. Speaking of 3D stuff, never actually showed off the whole like right alt and ability to see in first person. And unfortunately, as of now, due to my own incompetence, I did sort of make it so that I don't have that ability right now. We'll probably end up getting that soon enough in this part. Yeah, after I'm getting all these anti-cubes and everything. However, for right now, it's still kind of out of my grasp. Don't worry. While it is an incredible sight to behold, it is also like... well, you'll see what I'm talking about. In fact, I don't even know one place to use it right now. But so far, only one place. Kind of making an effort to, like, look at every single one. Hey, yeah, and there's another one of the unique anti-cubes. Kind of making an effort to look at it in... to try and use it in, like, every single area to see if something's going to show up. I guess the squid aliens also visited the 2D people, 2D civilization that I've seen before. Probably like this area, and I'm betting the Game Boy palette sewers are a result of that, or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking 2D, low res, right? Something along those lines. Well, anyway, as far as Mega Man blocks goes, I'll That's fine. That's hardly the worst that I've dealt with. Still, though, gonna have to figure out this tuning fork thing. I don't know, a little bit later. Well, I'm actually gonna go back to that other area because that wasn't the only thing. There was also another gate opened up, another door opened up. I guess that because of the lowered water, and I think even one more thing. I'm gonna go check out this door down here, though. Also, should go get that cube fragment on top of that. Man, gold cubes. They're just like nothing. Oh, yeah, I have no idea what to do with this. Here's what it says. But I'm gonna have to come back for this one because I got no clue right now. There is a certain level of brute forcing that you can do. Because after all, they give you one of each of the, I guess let's call them, variety of spelling blocks that exist, which sort of gives you a very limited amount of potential like candidates for what the two halves of the name could be. But at the same time, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna be some tough puzzle solving, I'm thinking. It's like the first half of the name is probably name. Second half of the name, though, me? No, I don't know. Was there something over here that I was going to get? Ah, that's what I was going to get, of course. I just got to do some artful switching of... Oh, also, that is an owl. Did figure out what to do with owls, worshipped by every one of the worshipped by every one of the civilizations that exist in this world, seemingly. Owls have had a great amount of importance to everybody. Come on now. If I can get up there, maybe just going from this side is going to be a little bit more effective. Mm-hmm. The many are one. The one is many. And it gave me the puzzle solved jingle. What does that mean? I don't know. But back in that one area with the statue, Dot told me to assemble the parliament, so I'm guessing that's probably something to get an anti-cube eventually, and maybe that sort of cryptic advice is going to have some sort of meaning? I'll compile it together and see what happens, but honestly, I don't know. So, you can already see this. The second that I walk into this room... Oh, right, nice. The second that I walked into this room for the first time, I was just like, yeah, I get you. But there are also some other things. Some pitiful golden cubes to collect. Who cares, even? Who cares when we got much more difficult puzzles to solve? All right, here. You know what? I'm actually going to go open up the old handy-dandy. One of the two greatest tools you have for solving puzzles in a video game, which is MS Paint, of course. You've already seen that show up. And also, you know... what is that? Left shift. And also Notepad. What can I say? It's pretty... It's just an easy way to have text inputted to be read back later. That is what? Right space, right shift. If you're not seeing this, I'm walking around on tetrominoes. These are clearly like a big list of tetrominoes. And, of course, this area loops then, too. Down, space, and up. All right. Let's do it. Right, left shift, right, space, right shift, down, space, up. There we are. Easy one to get. I mean, noticing patterns just about anywhere. When you know you're dealing with a puzzle game, noticing patterns just about anywhere is important. And actually, on the point of noticing patterns, one of the things that I do with pretty much every single game, and this is no exception, is look at the achievement list for this game. And one of the achievements is just called Achievement Unlock, and it lists right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, left trigger, left trigger. That's one that is, like, you need to look at the achievement list and notice, what does it give me a list of stuff to do? And yeah. That is a very silly way to do a secret. But at the same time, it is also, I mean, not unheard of. I did a very similar sort of thing with the hex, where I needed to, for one of the ciphers, figure out exactly, like, look at the achievement list and then compile them together into a code to put in a notepad document. I'm just like a professional cryptographer for video games at this point, aren't I? Where does this go, by the way? Do I have anything else to do in here? Oh, I do. There's one area. Also another one over here. And then that leads back to the bell place. And I do know what that place is. That's going to be something for later. But for right now, entirely okay with trying to suss this one out. This one is an area that I remember, as I was kind of playing off screen, becomes a lot more difficult with the addition of black holes. Like, they really get in the way of doing the platforming in this place. Thankfully, whatever it is that activates them was not activated this time, so got just a nice simple romp up here and into the tree trunk. At least I think it's the tree trunk, right? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the only place that I have to go. Which, if I'm remembering correctly, I do believe, yes, this is that one place that I saw that has the totem that prevents 3D movement. Or at least would prevent 3D movement if I didn't realize that you're just supposed to do the shifting as you're holding on to this. Yeah, because prior to this point, a lot of the puzzles that I was solving regarding, like, levers to push around or whatever would automatically be pushed around. Here I didn't realize that, yeah, like, shifting, I guess, it does in some ways, you know, also turn the world, right? No, I thought for some reason that, well, there's definitely another one of the tiny cubelings to go down there, but let's do this one first. I should know how to solve most of the puzzles. Not all of them, but most of them. Yes, okay. This, again, would have been another one of those ones that I did post-commentary. It's honestly not super difficult to figure out, but did take me a couple tries. First part of the puzzle, like micro-puzzling. Micro-puzzling is figuring out how to get this one block up on top here for the massive cube in the middle to begin with. I can do that actually from here. And then, there we go. That'll work. And then next thing is to figure out how to get these cubes into this cube. Because you just kind of like throw them in here. Nope, didn't work. But I mean, one of the things you'll very quickly notice is that... Can I jump up here? No, not easily. Is that there are, like, lines, and by matching up those lines... Yeah. Not the toughest of puzzles, but it did take me a little bit because I thought that I was supposed to, I don't know, get in the perfect 3D space or something to be able to... to be able to fit the cubes inside of that. Because, you know, even though this game is presented in 2D, it is still in 3 dimensions. You can line yourself up on a very specific sort of plane if you want to. And in fact, that was important for one of the things that I'll be doing later. But nope. It's match the pattern sort of thing. A lot more simple. And for your efforts, an anti-cube. Do you expect anything else at this point in time? I'm gonna... that's gonna be a lot of the cubes that I'm getting, I bet. And it's like, I'm gonna be spending my time looking for the anti-cubes. And if we happen to find, like, yellow cubes, golden cubes, that's fine. Also, by the way, that cuts off at the top. Just something I noticed in each one of these rooms. It means nothing, but I don't know. Just the fact that you can see that the light is literally coming from nothing is amusing to me. All right, what are we doing next? I mean, I suppose, yeah, we got like an extra little bit of cubletness. Is that what I'm going to call these things? Cubelets? But whatever. To grab, and then if I can figure out exactly where this thing is appearing. The cubelets, of course, have a very helpful attribute of showing up very clearly regardless of where you're at. Mostly otherwise, I have to kind of use my map to figure out if I have the full, yeah, like golden, all clear sort of status on each one of these things. All right. Down here, right? There we are. There you are, you rascally little cube. Get in my pocket so that I can go and recreate the hexahedron here. So here's a question. Is the hexahedron supposed to be one of those like squid aliens on the planet the Stargate left me at, brought me to, whatever you want to call it? 'Cause it would make sense. They are like large cubes, and the large squid alien things were portrayed as like cubes, but they had like tentacles. They had 3 eyes. Is it just something where being whatever 2D or something, you couldn't see the full breadth of what the aliens looked like? Or maybe that was just, you know, sort of an embellishment on the point of the zoo people? The idea that, well, I mean, it's not just a cube, right? No, I'm pretty sure it had tentacles and like 3 eyes. And it didn't. It did not have tentacles and 3 eyes, but, you know. It makes for a better statue or something. All right, anything else? Yeah, that one seems like that's going to take some work. There's also some other area that I haven't been to just yet. Was there like a tree or something? I guess I'm kind of trying to clear out this area at this point in time, so can make an effort to run around and see what's happening. Which I do believe is right here. Yes, it is. A lot of stuff to do on this here island. I'll say that right now. A lot of interesting things. Multitude of puzzles. Okay, I'm just going to go all the way up to the top. It's probably that big tree. Yeah, not that. I don't know why I thought I could make that. It is a little bit too high. But anyway, I mean, it's like every one of these big trees has something in them. And I did just miss that the first time that I was going through the game. But now that I'm more learned in the ways of Fez, please ignore the fact that I did just walk headfirst into a black hole. We'll start seeing some of these patterns here. All right, more of these bouncy mushrooms, more of Mushroom Hill Zone right now. Oh yeah, this thing, which I did find as I was doing like a little bit of cleanup. Yeah, the quick round fox jumps over the lazy dog, and you can also see like a fox jumping over a dog here. Like I even needed that sort of thing. Come on now, really. I am like a professional video game cryptographer at this point in time. I don't need like there was also something in Environmental Station Alpha, one of the NPCs that you would eventually meet after beating the game, gave you, oh yeah, and here's like the cube for spelling. So I guess they're just cubes. I don't think you actually use the cube to write. The cube just shows you how the writing system was formed, sort of, which is to say you rotate it around. But yeah, Environmental Station Alpha had an NPC that appeared at the end of the game, or well, after you finished the game that spoke a sentence in the cipher language and in the cipher language and in English. And I'm just like, oh, well, that would have been more helpful, so I didn't have to try and figure out individual phrases from... what was it? Like the hints for where you find something. I've entirely forgotten. All I remember is that you can always see whenever I bring up the cipher that the first phrase pretty much translates to "in the artwork," and that was the beginning part to figuring out everything else related to that. All right, another place that I have largely cleared out right now that I should probably head over to, see if I can't find a lot more fun stuff to do, is the old civilization. I don't know what you call it. You know, like, for example, it's about night. Let's go head over to the observatory. There's a faster way to head over to the observatory, but I don't remember what it is. No, wait. Yes, I do remember what it is. Come on, let's see if I can get that before it turns entirely... Before it already turns back to day. Although, really, with the way that... With how fast the day-night cycle is, it's usually not that much of a concern, I gotta say. Yeah, I think go in through here. Still have no idea what those structures are. Yeah, the one with the little cube at the top of, like, a stone monolith. Whatever that's supposed to be, I got no idea. It's definitely relevant, but I just don't... I don't know in what way. Yeah, all right, let's get in there. Slam myself right. This is the one that I ruined my game over, by the way. I think we're about to go get right here. Cool. If I can see it before it becomes impossible to see. For this day cycle, which I think it already is. Yeah, it super is. Dang. Oh, well, get back here then later. All right. It is annoying having to have a little bit of a waiting game around here, but there is something from this very fast travel door that I should be able to go do right now. Specifically, not that, but get on top of this place. Seems like this, like a guy on a throne. I have seen thrones. Oh. Okay, well, I guess hang on to the side here. Shimmy over a little bit. And then this door I totally missed. All right, so what's in here? Yeah, okay, I remember this one. Yes, those are all the ways that you can unfold a cube. And I remember that I was looking at this and I'm just like, well, I can try and create a cube with the cubes that they've given me, but they only actually give you 6 cubes. So what do? Well, as it turns out, there's one of the ways to unfold a cube is missing. And you gotta recreate that, which I will do right now. Right here, right now. Which this should be... That's why they even give you this little platform right here. 3 on top. 3 on the bottom. And I do believe that should net me 1 more of those fancy blue anti-cubes. I think it's specifically called a net of a cube. Because I remember when I noticed that, I immediately looked it up online. Like, what are the ways to unfold a cube? So, that'll cover that one. And good, it is almost night again, so I can go right back to the observatory. This is one of the trickier puzzles to solve, I gotta say, the observatory one. They give you a hint on the blackboard here. Yeah, there's this one right here. I mean, I guess it's not really too much of a hint because you'll absolutely see it when looking through the telescope as well. Let me see if I can see that right now. Yeah, right here. I even got it in the perfect position. Upper left corner, there are 2 red dots flashing. And you saw that exact sort of combination of, well, that exact sort of setup of dots, even like outlined in red on this blackboard. So, when you see flashing stuff, of being, again, a professional video game cryptographer, that means, one, Morse code, and that was originally what I went with, because, you know, it's an easy way to put a puzzle in a game, and, like, flashing just, that just makes sense. However, there's no discernible sort of spaces in between the flashing of those dots. It just kind of goes on continuously. So although I do have two signals that could relate to like dashes and dots, you need, not every one of the Morse code letters and numbers is the same length, which is why you need to have spaces in between them. So next thing, and you know, the other thing that you always see whenever you see the other thing you always want to try whenever you see two points of data in whatever way alternating in a fashion is binary, and that is in fact what it was. And that binary gives me, and that binary, when you translate it to ASCII, it's always ASCII. You just compare it to the ASCII table. It gives me a series of right and left trigger pushes. So right trigger, left trigger, left trigger, right trigger, right trigger, left trigger. That's a weird looking cube. But, alright. Dot. The hell is this thing? Why is it missing a part? I don't either. What is this thing? Wait, there's another secret in this area? Was binary not enough? I mean, I guess, okay, there were also like tetrominoes there too, but is there a way that I can look at my what was that? It's not on here. Yeah, and I also don't see it on the left side too. What? Dot, what did I get? Well, I done did it. I'm gonna have to go figure out what, like those tetrominoes though aren't in like an order in the same way, so I don't know. What did I do? What did I get? Is there like a secret ending or something that I'm now on the path to unlock? Well, I do whatever. We'll do more later. Figure that one out later. There is also another thing here. You might remember when I was in here for the first time that I did see an owl. Didn't get a chance to talk to it. I got a chance to talk to it now. I mean, I am just like flabbergasted. What was that? It did not appear on anything. Maybe that like opened up something else in the world that I just don't know about. Ah, yeah, this is one that I can do. So yeah, it actually is a lot easier as it turns out to just scan this sort of thing with your phone and figure out what it says. Did you know that like you just type in scan QR code in your phone and it'll tell you. Let me go get my phone real quick. All right, scan QR code. What do we got here? It is, yep, exactly what I remember it being. Right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, left trigger, left trigger, right trigger. I don't know. I always think of QR codes being like a thing for links, like web links or something like that. But nope. This one just gives you instructions to, well, get a cube, essentially. There was also one over in the zoo village, but I do not. You can't do that one because it is not complete. Though I did figure out what exactly you need to do for it. Well, in the meantime, let me go see if the owl's shown up. You gotta wait for like night for that to happen. Ah, yep. Here it's coming in. Right through the black holes as well. I mean, it is a divine creature, I suppose. Yeah. Hi. The 13 circles. The 64-bit name of God. I don't know. But I do know that that does indeed count as a collectible because, you know, it plays the sound effect, and then also you did full clear this area. So I guess that's something. That is most everything that I can do in this area. Still don't know what to do with this. It is a mystery. Despite the fact that I did notice that there were tetrominoes, you know, I tried everything that I could possibly do with the throne room in both of the villages, and I could not figure out anything. I just gotta go get the anti-cubes at the right time. Did that in the previous save file. Haven't done it here just yet, you know, so that's an entire thing. Is there anything else then? Oh, yeah, and then I gotta figure out what the telescope thing is. But otherwise, old zoo, or whatever you call it, is entirely done. Minus this one last thing. So let's go over to the... Let's just go head right on over to ye old gigantic throne. Which, I don't know, maybe the gigantic throne has some sort of hint as to what exactly it is that I'm supposed to do there. I don't know, maybe. But as far as I can tell, I couldn't... I mean, there's a character wearing a fez sitting on top of a big throne. Does that mean anything? I mean, yes, but also I don't know, because there's no dedicated sit button, unless I got to go into New Game Plus 2 to be able to get to the, you know, additional headgear that allows me to sit down. I don't think that sort of thing exists. You know what? I'm going to declare it right now. I do not think that exists. All right, back to the trapped in a fez factory, send help. Because one of these things. Yeah, here we are. Or what was it? No, not that one. This one. I mean, how did I look at the wrong... Whatever, we'll go do that one later. And in fact, I'm already lined up for this correctly, so just do this. Dot, you have any idea? Ugh. You know surprisingly little, Dot. You were sent here to guide me. No explanation as to by whom or, you know, anything. And then it's just like you don't even know what half of these things are. Yeah, there you go. There's the other QR code. I knew it was somewhere around here. So this one is the QR code. Is a finished version of the QR code that does appear in the zoo village. So I can go and finish that one now. I do believe that's everything here. It is not. What else am I what does it say here? Oh, right, because there's the... Right, of course. There's the one stone obelisk that I don't know what it is. There's been no explanation as to what exactly that is. It's very strange to me. Would expect that at this point in time I would know. All right. Okay, good. It actually did give me the ability to grab onto that. I honestly did not think it would. Okay. Now I just want to go get back to the hub world. There are places like the zoo village now that I can go. As well as, of course, the... Can I do this? Oh, yeah, okay. The zoo village, and as well as, of course, the... I don't know, but like the one other place that I can't remember the name of, New Zoo, that I should be able to go and get a couple more anti-cubes in. All right, so jump right back in there. Is there anything else like that I can do right now? Ah, yes, that was the other treasure map that I found for this thing. Lighthouse has some stuff. Water tower thing, whatever that is. But that leads over to like the industrial district, which will probably be a lot of where I'm exploring next. If not just, you know, going back to, say, like the industrial district and the graveyard are two that have a lot of stuff left to do in. So right now, though, it's a lot of cleaning up. And to that end, let's get into New Zoo. That security question. I got my notes open up on the other screen, and it's just I do not know. Seems very, very difficult. Yeah, all right. So this place is a place that tells you how to actually decipher the tetromino, like, what do I want to call these things? Stone pillars. Let's just call them pillars. You can see it even says like 1, 2, and then 3 to sort of dissect it. That is not really necessary. Space. Was that shift left, right, space, and down. Every single one of the tetrominos is the exact same in here, so there's not really too much to be said in terms of like trying to figure out an additional one. And in fact, yeah, already cleared out. And this just appears to be an unfolded metal cube. Maybe how they built the city? Who knows? Also still like, maybe this does mean it's like, is there gonna be like an owl around here? Can I talk to this? No, I cannot seem to talk to that. As it turns out, that was a foolish sort of endeavor that I made there, but I made it all the same. Anyway, let's get out of New Zoo. Very tiny place, but with a lot of lore going on in there. And then back into New Zoo. So then I can go and rebeat the game, and then of course, get my cool sunglasses, which will be paramount to, I assume, solving several more puzzles, even though I only know of the one. I'm only really familiar with the one of them right now. Alright, but running over here, I think it was this door. Oh, this is the door that leads into the classroom. Very useful place, that. It's honestly a lot of compilation of, you know, other information. Yep, I'm only missing one, so can finish it up right here. Yeah, so like the owls don't appear in this area. Here the owls see their effigy, assemble the parliament. I mean, I have absolutely seen their effigy around, and I've talked to a couple owls, but I would have expected, I don't know, they started to appear in there. Yeah, so you can see the tetrominos, and there's even one on top of the throne, but I'm still not quite sure what to do with it. Because I've you know, paused the screen, taken a look at what it is, and there's just no explanation. Alright, so yeah, not possible to scan this one, but if you take a look at this, you can see that it is the exact same. So let me just yank in this again. My phone, it's my phone, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm yanking in. And then right trigger, right trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, right trigger, right trigger, left trigger. And there we are. Slam me on one more of these QR codes, and now I kind of know what to do if I see any more of those, which I'm assuming I probably won't. Seems like they're something very specific to the zoo village, but to the 2 zoo villages that exist in the game. I guess 3 technically with New Zoo, but sort of, I don't know. Doesn't quite have the same sort of amenities. So I'm going to go get the first-person view and then kind of go over the one final thing that I've discovered thus far. Despite using the first-person view in every single room that I could, there only seems to do anything in one area, and that is right down here at the beginning of the game. This place I sort of thought was going to be where all the owls were going to show up, because it also has the candles on the ground and everything. But instead, there is something else. Yep. That's right. It's that. You might recognize that symbol from one of the treasure maps that I got. This one right here, which if I flip it over, standing on one of them and then entering some sort of a code, which I will, well, write down right now. It is up, shift right, up, a space, down, shift left, up, down. Okay. Now then, it's also the one point in time that I think I've seen that lining yourself up in a specific area is kind of relevant. Because there's two dots here. One of them is like a 0, and then one of them is a 1. So I gotta get onto that one over there. It's gonna like go line myself up on the edge. Okay, so line myself up there. Right about here or so, give or take. If I go into first person view, I think I actually need to go like one more step to the right. Yeah. And then about here, right? No, like right here. All right. Up, shift right, up, space, down, shift left, up, down. And this is as far as I've gotten. I can't interact with this thing. I can't do anything with this. It's like I'm guessing, if I was going to take any sort of guess, I would say this is a devil cube. Because, okay, look at the ground. Look at the ground right here. This looks like a summoning, like, circle. But, of course, instead of being an actual circle, it's an infinity symbol. Because that's very cute. The idea that of course, you wouldn't summon something with arcane runes in this world. You would need to use some sort of mathematics. So you get infinity. And then I guess there's like something else supposed to be on this map. Half of it's burned after all, but I don't know what. Maybe that's one of the other 2 maps that I gotta go find or something. But as of right now, yeah, I got a big cube here. I summoned Satan. So that's the only thing that I figured out to do with the first person. It actually matters where you're lining yourself up in X and Y, in 3D space. And I'm able to summon what might or might not be a demon. It's not enough to solve this area, so I've got to figure out whatever the next part of this entire thing is. But as it is, that is pretty much all the stuff that I figured out so far. And now I'm going to make absolutely sure that I'm recording everything so I don't have this sort of thing happen again.